Emostel.
Hello, this is Emmanuel Kadri and you are welcome to Emostel Academy. In this video, we will be talking about expansion of algebraic expressions. As this is just a continuation of the stuff we started under algebra and all that. It's just a continuation of a series of videos that we've been having on algebra. All right, so what really is expansion? You see, anytime we have an expression that have brackets in mathematics, all right, the brackets simply stands as a separator and also stands as a multiplier. There are some things that may not really look ideal to go along with each other when you write them together. So, or in some other cases, when you write some kind of numbers together, it will pass a different message. So in order to ensure that the messages passed are well understood and the operations carried out on the expression is correct, okay, we always introduce brackets. You see, apart from brackets working as separators, they also function as multipliers. If I have a number like this, maybe -2 minus 1, -2 minus -1, okay? There is nothing wrong with this thing. Whatever is it that we are seeing here just indicates that we are subtracting -1 from -2. But it is going to cause confusion. This is going to be like a syntax error if you type it in a calculator. So if you want to gain clarity with this expression, you would rather write it as -2 minus then -1, so that it indicates that this minus you have here, okay, is it's working with this number 2, all right? This minus you have here works with this number 2 to show that 2 is a negative number. And then this minus you have here works with what? With this number 1 to show that 1 is a negative number. Then the minus that you have in the middle here stands as an operator, okay? Just to show that you are subtracting this second term from this previous term. I believe you get that. So you see that just by introducing the bracket sign, we have been able to pass a clear message to any reader or to any observer that whatever is going on here is a subtraction of two negative numbers. Do you get that? So if this bracket had not been there, then this thing will cause huge confusion. And it may just make one not to know where to start from or what to do next. How are you getting that? So now, you see, if you want to just walk further, we deal with that bracket area first. In mathematics, we always try as much as possible to remove brackets when we are simplifying expressions or even equations. So the process of removing the brackets gives us a simpler form of that expression. And then with the quest for working towards solution to the problem. Okay, so now, which means what I'm just trying to say in a nutshell, that is that brackets are important in mathematics, fine. And then also, whenever you find brackets in mathematics expression or equation, you just try to resolve them first before you start doing other things. And that is the reason why in that topic called BODMAS, okay, bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction, and then in other regions of the world, they have something else that they use to indicate the precedence. They can use pendas or something like that. Okay, different. Some countries have something different they call it, but the general thing is that it is just it indicates the precedence of operations. But we are still going there. okay, in another lesson. All right. So now what I am just trying to explain here is just that whenever you find brackets in any equation or expression, try to resolve them first, okay, before proceeding with the other steps that you take towards solution. So in the process of resolving the brackets, we do some sort of multiplication. That multiplication is what we call expansion of that bracket. We call them expansion. Some other some other teachers, or in some countries, or in some textbooks, it may be called removing the brackets. It's still fine. Whether you expand the bracket or you remove the bracket, it's still okay. It still means the same thing. And what it means is just that you are trying to resolve the bracket so that you can proceed with the equation. So, or the expression, sorry. Whether the equation or the expression, however the case may be. So if I want to resolve this particular one now, okay, because I don't want to leave it this way, I want to simplify it. What I'll just do is to put minus 2. Then I will say minus times minus. I told you before that bracket stands as separator and is also a multiplier. So we have minus multiplying minus to give us plus. Then we repeat this one. Now by so doing, by carrying out that operation, we have been able to resolve the bracket. And so we can proceed by saying minus 2 plus 1, which means I was owing 2 and I'm having 1, then the answer is minus 1. And that works fine. All right, so that is just that for these. Okay, that's not actually where I'm going. I just use that to explain the way brackets works, in the way brackets work in algebraic expressions and an equation, however the case may be. Okay, so now let us work this first example. So we've just done something similar here. We have minus 3x and then 4. Okay, so this bracket separates 4 from minus 3x, and it also serves as a multiplier. So which means that we are going to multiply whatever is it that we have out inside the bracket by what is outside. All right, and in the process of this multiplication, we must take cognizance of the signs. Okay, now this is minus, which is negative. Okay, and then whatever is it that we have here, 4 is this number here, but because it carries no sign, then it indicates that it is a positive number. So minus times plus will give you minus. 3x times 4 gives 12x, and that is all. Okay, minus times plus is minus. So 3x times 4 means 3x in 4 places. So that is 3x plus 3x plus 3x plus 3x. That gives you what? 12x. It's as simple as that. Right? Good. So, number 2. Number 2 is like 5 multiply minus 3x. It's still the same process. What you do here is 5 is a positive number. 3x is a negative number. So, plus times minus gives you what? Minus. 5 times 3x means 3x or 3x times 5, either way. Okay, 3x times 5 means 3x, 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 3x in 5 places, and that means 15x. So we have 3, or you can just say 5 times 3, 15, then the x. Okay, so how, it depends on how you capture it in your mind. Number 3, okay, we have 2 minus 5x. All right. So in this case, there is a minus sign separating 2 and minus 5x, unlike this one that has direct link with the brackets. This number 2 does not have a direct link with the brackets. Number 2 that you have here is separated from the content of the bracket with a minus, which means that everything here, okay, is being subtracted from 2. The reason why we put this one in the bracket is to separate this sign from this sign, so that it will look like something like this, which is similar to what I did earlier. Okay, so the bracket here this time around is separating minus 5x from this operator. Okay, so it's a business between the operator and the number in the bracket. This 2 has no business with it at all. So when we are opening brackets or expanding brackets, we always consider the number or the value or the sign that is closest to the bracket. All right, so we work with what is closest to the bracket. This 2 is far from the bracket. What is closest to the bracket in this situation is this minus. Or you can say -1. There is an invisible 1 there. It's because it is 1, that is the reason why it wasn't written. But it's like, okay, there is a 1 that is multiplying everything in the bracket. If it is 1, you don't write it. Okay, don't let me confuse you. 1 times anything is that thing. So when I write the thing, it's still the same thing in the sense, okay, somewhere deep down that there is that it is being multiplied by 1, because even though you multiply it by 1, you still get, it's still the same minus 5x. So if you say 1 times minus 5x, still minus 5x. Do you understand it now? So minus 1 times whatever. So the 1 is just there invisibly, but you don't write it, okay? Because 1 multiplying anything is still that thing. And let's just leave it that way. So at the end of the day, 2 is not having any link. There is no link between 2 and this. What has the link is this -1 or minus sign, having an immediate link with the minus 5x, okay, in the brackets. So all we just need to do is to repeat these 2, because it's not interacting with anything yet. All right, so we repeat 2. It's not interacting with anything yet, and then we have so we deal with the immediate bracket from terms. So minus times minus is plus. So 1, that invisible 1, multiplied by 5x will give you what? 5x. Or you simply just say minus times minus 5x will give you plus 5x. However you seem to capture it, you're still making the same sense. So at the end of the day, the answer is 2 plus 5x. And there is nothing else we can do to it. Don't try saying it is 7x. No. I said this in some videos back, okay, that you can only add or subtract numbers that belong to the same term. That is, in terms of, you can multiply or divide numbers that don't belong to the same term. You can. At least this is 5 and this is 3x. They are not like terms, but you multiply them. It is allowed for multiplication or division, but it is not allowed for addition or subtraction. So when it comes to addition or subtraction, which means because there is no way you can add 5x to 2. 2 is a different entity. 5x is different. There's no way you can add 5 naira to $2. There's no way you can add 5 naira to 2 bairos. 5 naira and 2 bairos, they are not the same when we are talking about, when we want to add or subtract or do anything of such. Okay? So it is only when they are the same. Say 2 bairos plus 5 bairos, that's 7 bairos. 3 bairos plus 4 bairos, that is 7 bairos. Okay, you get what I'm trying to say? But because they are bairo. But when one is bairo, the other one is monkey or something else, they cannot add or subtract. They can only multiply. You get what I'm trying to explain? So that's just how it works. So when you have these 2 plus 5x, they cannot add. So because they cannot add, we just leave it that way. Assuming this was an equation, this is an expression. Assuming it was an equation that contains equality with something else on the other side, we might consider, moving the like terms, and then simplifying further as we've been doing in previous videos. But that is not the case here. So since there is nothing more here, we just stop it there. And that's how it goes. So let's play with question number 4. Number 4 says 7x plus 3 minus 4x. All right, done. Just like something similar to what happened here. Okay, this 7x does not have a direct relationship with the contents of the brackets. It only has a relationship with this immediate sign closest to the bracket. You get? So as we have it here, so the only thing we just do is to repeat the 7x. So let's repeat it as 7x. Okay, now this plus is a gentle guy. Plus is actually meant to, like the way minus did, okay, multiply the content of the bracket. That's the same thing that is going to happen here. So plus times positive 3 will give us positive 3. Plus times minus 2 gives us minus. Then 1 times 4x will give us what? 4x. I told you that if no number is written before the bracket, so it's assumed that there is an invisible 1 there. Okay, but if there is a number, then you deal with that number. But if no number is written there, you assume that a number is there, but that number is 1. Okay, all right. So this plus times plus here gives us what? Plus 3x. That is, it multiplies this one, and then the same plus multiplies this sign here. Okay, and then we have plus times minus giving us our minus. Okay, and that's for that. So we have so now that we are done to this stage, the next thing we do is to collect like terms. So we have 7x. This is minus 4x because they are x and x terms. Okay, and this time around, no equality sign is being crossed. No equality sign is being crossed, so you don't really have any issues having to change sign. You only change sign when you want to cross an equality sign. But if it is still playing around within an expression, okay, so the sign will still be maintained. So it was minus 4x here, it still remains as minus 4x. Then this is plus 3, okay? So now 7x minus 4x will give us like you are taking 4 naira or 4x from 7x, you know, because they are like terms, so they can easily work together, and then that will become 3x. So you have 3x plus 3. Actually, there is still one more step further that you could do here to simplify it further, but because that is the content of the next topic, I'm going to stop here for now. So, okay, then you will know why I could still do something about this, but I won't be able to do anything about this. You will know the reason why in the next lesson. Now, let's play with question number 5. In question 5, we have 5 minus x minus 3. Okay? So to solve the question is just the same way we've been doing all through. You will repeat this 5 because it does not have any direct relationship with the bracket. What has direct relationship with the bracket is the number or the sign closest to the bracket. So you repeat this 5 and then you expand. Minus times minus gives you plus. Then the invisible 1 times x gives you x. Okay? All right. Then minus times minus gives you plus again. Then the invisible 1 times 3 gives you 3. So you collect like terms. This is 5 and 3, so you can bring them together. 5 plus 3 plus x, which becomes 8 plus x. So you can leave your answer this way, or you leave the answer as x plus 8. No problem. No problem. It's still fine either ways. Okay? It's just as if, just like saying 2 minus 4. Okay? 2 minus 4 will give you minus 2. That is, I'm having 2 but owing 4. I will have minus 2, which means if I pay the 2, I'm still owing 2. And then here, if I decide to change it the other way around, minus 4 plus 2. Remember, 2 was positive here, so it still retains its positivity. And then this negative 4 goes to the front, still retains its negativity. All right? You see that we are still going to get the same answer because if I'm owing 4 and I'm having 2, okay, if I pay the 2, I'm still owing 2. So you get the same answer regardless of how you position them. Okay, so that's what's happening here. If I say 8 plus x is still the same as x plus 8, no problem, no issues, everything is still fine. Okay, all right, good. So number 6. Number 6 says 2 plus 3. Here you have 4x minus y, then minus 5. All right, so having this, you just still do the same thing. Don't think it's complex. It's no complex at all. It's just the same thing we've been doing since. That is what you are just still doing here. Okay? Nothing complex. Just go straight to the bracket and try to resolve the brackets. But while you're resolving the brackets, you repeat every other term. You just repeat them the way they are until the bracket is resolved. Then you do the next things. Okay? So, all right. So you repeat these two. You bring it down. Okay, this 5 too is going to be brought down, but now we are dealing with the brackets. So we have plus times plus, we give you plus. That plus guy doesn't change anything. It's the minus guy that changes things. Okay, so 3 times 4x, we give you 12x. So we have 12x, okay? That is settled. Now again, plus times minus gives you minus, okay? It doesn't change anything. When plus multiplies something, the thing remains the way it is. Okay, the sign remains the way it is. And then 3 times y gives you what? 3y. All right, 3 times y means y 3 times. That is y written 3 times, or y adding itself 3 times. Y plus y gives you 3y. Just trying to make it simple to you, okay? So you have minus 5. All right, so looking at this one, well, we can collect like terms by just bringing these numbers 2 and minus 5. And then we keep the other ones, plus 12x, then minus 3y, okay? Then 2 minus 5, 2 minus 5 will give us minus 3, then plus 12x, minus 3y. You can decide to rearrange it. You know, at this stage now, there is nothing you can do. You cannot add them. 3 is an ordinary number. It does not have any letter. X is a number that has letter. But then y has is 12x is a term that has a letter. 3y is also another term, okay? Minus 3y is also another term, but a different letter entirely. So you cannot add the two of them. Nothing can happen in terms of addition or subtraction, because 12x minus 3y is as if you're saying 12 naira minus $3 or 12 pounds minus $3. You cannot perform that mathematics unless you convert the pounds to dollars, and then both of them work together in dollars, or you convert the dollars to pounds, and both of them work together as pounds. But in this case, you cannot even do any conversion of such. So therefore, you leave the answer. So you can either leave the answer this way, or you rearrange by saying 12x, positive 12x, negative 3y, then you push this to the back, negative 3. Anyhow you have chosen to do it, you are still correct. Okay? All right, now the last question here. We have 7. So 8, question 7 says 8 minus x plus y plus 2x minus y. Plus 2x minus y. All right? So now, as we have it this way, just the same thing. We have 8, okay? Deal with the brackets and sort every other thing out later. So minus times positive x will give you negative x. Minus times plus will give you minus. Then you have the y. Okay, you know, we are still doing as if there is an invisible one there. Okay, so then we have plus 2x minus y. So the next thing is you put them together, right? Okay, so this minus x, and then you just make x go to x, y go to y. You repeat this 8, you have 8, okay, minus x. This is plus x. Since it's not crossing any equality, it's still within the same expression, so you bring it together. That's plus 2x, so plus 2x. You maintain the sign, you're not changing the sign. And then we have minus y. So simplifying it further, you have 8 minus x plus 2x. It means I am owing 1x, but I'm having 2x. So if I pay, I'm still having 1x. Then minus y means I am owing 1y and owing another y. So if I want to know how much I'm owing in total, then it means I'm owing 2y. So at this stage, there's nothing we can do again because they cannot add or subtract. There are 3 different terms. So you leave the answer that way. The mission is accomplished. The mission is to remove the brackets. The process of removing brackets is what we call expansion of that bracket, or we call it opening of the bracket. However the case may be, we are just dealing with the bracket to make sure the bracket is out of the expression or equation, and then we continue the simplification. So that is the end of this video. I hope you understood everything, and I want to see you in the next video. In the next video, we'll be talking about, we'll be dealing with the same topic, but yet a little bit advanced than this. All right, in that case, see you over there. Bye.